Hi folks, so just wanted to do a quick video. Thank you for all the comments and all the well wishing and all your words of encouragement and support. It's brilliant, guys. Thank you very much. It really helps, it really does. You know, today has been a much better day. And I suppose it's like the old saying goes, you know, one step in front of the other, and slowly things will start getting better, and it is. Today actually was a really good day, to be quite honest, actually thinking about it. I'm still feeling a little bit, like I say, little bit wobbly, but I guess that's to be expected, and you know, but as I'm getting back into the stride of things, you know, I'm starting to feel better and better in myself. And also it's made me realise today, you know, like I had this sit down, I think I've mentioned it in the video, one of the videos, I had a sit down talk with Ben, and basically we tried to thresh out this idea about perhaps me going to 173 and just doing the cleaning of the tables and this, that, and blah blah blah. Well, today, as I was in work today and I was doing my early shift, like I've done, that was my usual shift, I've come to realise that the guys in the shop, actually, they are really supportive, and I've really enjoyed working with them, and they're a good bunch of people. And Vicky's great and really supportive, and they've just been really fantastic. I can't fault them at all, they really have. And it's just nice to be with them again. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to be around them and having that bit of banter and that bit of a laugh. And, you know, we've had a few laughs today, and that really helped. Do you know what I mean? And you know, when I think about it, I thought to myself, do you know, I don't want to leave the shop, to be quite honest, when I think about it. And I know this kind of goes flying in the contradiction of perhaps how I've been feeling over the past few weeks or whatever, you know, culminating in me being silly and hurting myself and what have you, sort of thing. But I guess I've come to realise now, and, you know, Vicky's saying that what we're going to do is we're going to split my shifts up. So instead of me just doing morning shifts all the time and constantly on the till, because morning shift, I mean, today wasn't too bad actually, thinking about it. It wasn't too bad. It's not as busy as sometimes it can get, believe me. There were the odd moment here and there where it got a little bit hectic, but I coped with it, I managed with it. And I didn't stress as much. Which I must admit I was surprised at, to be quite honest, because I was fully expecting that if it got to that point I just wouldn't be able to cope and I'd just have a meltdown or something, but it didn't. And like I said, you know, I guess sometimes we have to go through these things. We have to go through stuff in our lives that we have to process, and when we come out the other side we can learn from it. Do you know what I mean? So we learn stuff that we go through, and hopefully we learn, and because it's teaching me to, you know, even though it's like, I don't know, for me, I think it takes me a lot longer than the average person to learn lessons, to be quite honest. It really does. I think I've just got a very thick skull and it just takes a long time for things to get into there. So I think I have to kind of, and it's like my dad used to say, I make a rod for my own back. And there's probably a good strong element of truth in that, to be quite honest, because I guess I kind of do. You know, I tend to make things harder than that perhaps necessarily they need to be, but that's just the way I learn, I guess, and that's just my process. And you know, so all this experience has made me to come to realise that for me, routine is a good thing, but monotony, not necessarily so. So I need to have things broken up a little bit. I need to do something different. You know, it's okay for a little while, you know, doing routine, doing the same things in and out, but I need it to be split up a little bit. So they're going to try and chop and change my shifts a little bit so that I'll be doing different shifts, which I think will help, because believe it or not, and I was surprised at this as well, because I guess just at my whole year of doing morning shift, I only experience the shop in the morning. I don't know what goes on in the afternoon or late towards the early evening, because the shop shuts around about 7. We open at 6 in the morning and we close around about 7 in the evening. So I I've never experienced any of the other shifts, and so I just assumed that everything would be kind of the same, and it's not really. There are slight differences, and I think those differences will help. So, and it was also the early morning starts, to be quite honest. Now the thing is that I still have to, well, I say still have to, but I don't mind doing it actually, to be quite honest, because like I said, it felt kind of good actually to be back doing my early morning shift, even though I had to walk to work today. No, actually, no, sorry, no, tell a lie. No, I had to partly walk. That was why I was thinking I had to walk. No, I did manage to get some money out of my wages today. It wasn't a lot, but I've managed to get something. And I've managed to put some money on my Oyster, enough to get to work and back and what have you, and tomorrow as well. And I bought some bread and some milk, and I needed to get Spot some food. He was desperately running out of food, and he was getting, I can imagine he was getting bored, because all I had left for him was this food called Felix, but it's all tuna, and so that's all he was having, is tuna, and he's been having it for the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, and sort of tuna in the morning, tuna in the evening. Do you know what I mean? You can imagine what we would be like if we was having the same food day in, day out. We'd get a bit bored and peed off with it. So anyway, but I managed to get him some food today as well, so he's got something different now, and he's got some fresh food and so on, so that's cool. But yeah, you know, like I say, it's made me realise that, like I said, for me, I guess I've come to this realisation that for me, work is actually part of in a sense, it's like a therapy as well, in a way. Do you know what I mean? Because if I was sat at home, I guess that's kind of partly what it was that week I had off. And then when I was going back, and that's when it all kind of happened. Now, I'm not saying I shouldn't have any time off, believe me. Do you know what I mean? Because it is nice at the same time to have some time off. But, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to have to try and work out when the best time is to do that or something. I don't know. Because the world of work is really, and especially like I've said before, and you guys know, well, my regulars anyway at least, will know that for a long time I didn't really work in a sort of 9-to-5 job type thing. You know what I mean? I was self-employed for a little while. Before that I was on the sickness benefit because I'd been discharged from hospital, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. And so for me, being in the world of work and being in a sort of 9-to-5 environment in that sense is something I'm not really used to. And so I guess it's just, the whole thing's a learning curve, I guess. And I just need to learn, you know, how to manage the environment better and what have you, sort of thing. So, but yeah, but otherwise, yeah, so I'm getting myself back on track. And I think in some ways it's a good thing to just get straight. My dad loved horses. Let me just tell you very quickly about, I've probably mentioned this before, my dad loved horses. He was mad about them, absolutely doted on them. And when we were kids, he taught us all to ride as kids, because we used to own horses. He used to buy them now and again, sort of thing. Like, you'd go to this place called Chelford Market. They were either ponies or horses. Sometimes we had a horse, mostly ponies. And he'd had a friend who had a pig farm or something up in a place called Mobley. And he used to keep them there. Because obviously, like I say, we lived in the city and what have you. And it's typical of my dad, wheelie dealy sort of thing. So I mean, so don't get me wrong. It wasn't like he was rich or anything. He could afford to. I mean, we're not talking like thoroughbred racehorses or anything. Do you know what I mean? We're just talking the odd pony here and there. And I don't know, 50 quid, £100 or something like that, whatever. And I'm going way back in sort of like, I don't know, like mid to say late 60s, early 70s sort of thing. So I'm pretty sure things were a lot cheaper back then. But anyway, my point is, before I start getting sidetracked as usual, is that that's what he used to teach us. Like, if you fall off the horse, the only way you're going to learn to ride is if you fall off, get straight back on it. Just get straight back on it, because otherwise you're gonna lose your nerve, and you're never gonna do it. So, you know, it was good philosophy in a sense. So Yeah, and absolutely, I think that's the best thing, to be quite honest. You know, the therapies and the medications and all this lot they've got their place. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, absolutely 100% they have got their place. And you know, I kind of still feel that maybe some kind of because I always feel kind of hyper a lot, and it's not just hyper, but it's also this sense of like, it's hard to explain it really, but it's like this nervous energy that's just constantly there, like bubbling away constantly. And it's, I guess it's anxiety really, it's just constant anxiety, and I feel it all the time, and I feel it in my body. I feel it literally in my body all the time. It's like this, the way I can describe it, it's like elastic band. If you've got an elastic band, rubber band, and you pull and taut and stretch it sort of thing, and that's kind of how it feels all the time. It's just constantly at tension, like that sort of thing, and it very rarely relaxes. Maybe now and again a little bit, but very rarely does it completely relax, you know, sort of thing. So I wonder if some kind of medication to just sort of take the edge off, but I don't know. I'm still a bit in two minds about that thing. But anyway, but yeah, so like I said, for me, just getting back into the saddle of work, because I've really enjoyed being at work again today. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's not like I've enjoyed it to the point it's like, oh yeah, this is like, I want to do this for the rest of my life or whatever sort of thing. It's just I guess it's the comparison really as well, compared to how I felt two weeks ago, whatever, to how I'm feeling now and how I felt today. Oh man, this feels so much better, and this is what I want to be like this, not the way I was before. Do you know what I mean? Because that's horrible. It's seriously horrible, horrible, horrible. And I can't even begin to describe it, to be quite honest. Nightmare doesn't even come close. But anyway, the thing is, I'm back on the horse and I'm riding again. So yeah, and let's hope I don't fall off again. But anyway, again, if I do, you know, the thing is, just get straight back on and learn. That's the thing, you know, learn from my experiences, learn from this experience, and that's what I'm hoping I'm doing, and I think I am. So yeah, so I'm doing an early shift again tomorrow, because Vicky's got a few people off at the moment for one reason or another, and she desperately needs people in there. So I've said okay, I'll do again what I'm saying, but next week I'll go back to the sort of like 11 till, I think so. I don't know, actually I forgot to ask her about that, because normally I do 4 hours, but somebody pointed it out to me as well. It's like, if I'm doing from 11 till 2, that's only 3. So maybe it should be from 11 till 3 in the afternoon. So I'll have to clarify with her on that one and just kind of find out exactly where I stand on that one. But at least, like I say, chop and change the shifts. I think that'll go a long way to helping me cope with the especially in the morning. Like I say, the morning time just seems to be the most hectic and the most demanding. So okay, for now, I guess, because I've waffled on at least 15 minutes, maybe even longer, I'm going to leave it there. And like I said, many thanks to you guys, each and every one of you. Sometimes when you guys leave comments, I don't always respond back. I give the comment, I give it a heart, and I love the comment, but I don't always necessarily respond, sometimes not straight away anyway, but believe me, it's fully appreciated, absolutely 100%, guys. You know, you guys have been my rock. You've just been so supportive, and you're unbelievable. And for that, I think you deserve to have some really much better videos that I'm gonna try. Oh yes, that's just reminded me. Sorry. I know, here I'm doing it again. Sorry. The other thing is that now this is something that I want to try and aim for. I was thinking about this on the way home. Now, I'm not asking you guys to do anything or anything like that, but what I'd really love to try and do, and the reason why, I'll get to the reason, is I want to try and get to about 100,000 subscribers. Now, I know that sounds ambitious, and it sounds like a lot and all the rest of it, but the reason why is because YouTube have got like, like you guys have seen it. I've done videos of it. It's near St Pancras, and they've got the YouTube studio there. Now the thing is, they've got the shop where YouTubers sell their merchandise and what have you, and this, that, and the other, their t-shirts, hoodies, and all the rest of it, and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And so the public can go in there anytime, whatever, da, da, da. But unless you've got over 100,000 subscribers or more, you can't go into the YouTube studios. At least that's my understanding. Unless that's changed since, I don't know. But that has always been the where you can't go in there unless you've got over 100,000 subscribers, which I think is a little bit like, that's a bit isn't it? Why can't you just well, I suppose I kind of see it because it's a lot of resources, because that's the thing, they provide like little mini studios, they've got like proper cameras, you can book a studio and do your own little thing in it. There's a ton of resources that they can make available to YouTubers, but it's usually to people who have got over 100,000 subscribers, like I say. At least this is my understanding. Now, people correct me if I'm wrong, and things have changed since then, but that was the last thing I remember it being said, because I actually went there, like I said, and I did try to go in to the studios, but I was kind of told, I forget who said off the top of my head, but I think, anyway, my point is that that's my goal at the moment. I want to try and reach 100,000 subscribers. It's a big deal. It's a massive deal. But I don't know if I can achieve that, then that means I can get access to some of those materials and some of that resources that they have, and in the hopes that I can make some better quality videos for you guys, and do something really cool and something different, and do you know what I mean, and what have you, sort of thing. It'd be just amazing. But like I said, it's a little goal, it's a little dream, and if I can get there, then fantastic. Then like I say, we'll see where we go from there. Now, like I say, I mean, I know it's ambitious and what have you, sort of thing, but I don't know, I was just thinking about it today and I thought, why not? Do you know what I mean? Let's see if we can make it happen. So, okay guys, so for anybody watching this video that's not already subscribed, please subscribe. That'd be fantastic. So, thanks very much guys, and I will catch you soon. So, as always, bye for now.